Oh, hello, we're live. That came on quicker than I expected. So, good evening, sort out the mop. Hello and welcome to our Tuesday night call. Happy New Year to everyone. I know it's the 1st of January, so I really appreciate you guys getting on the call. And I'm so excited for us to have such an amazing guest speaker. Hi, Jackie, I see you. So, let me see if I can find Lucas and invite him to join our call. Nope, not yet. Okay. So, evening everybody. Oh my God, we've got 60 people on 70 people online already, and we still have 1 minute to go according to my watch. This is very exciting. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm at my whatever day it is. New Year's Day like get together, so I'm just hiding in a bedroom so I can do this call. So it's a bit dark in here, but sorry for the cough. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. I'm so excited. This is the 1st of January. It happens to fall on the regular Tuesday night call that we're doing, and we have Lucas, one of the top European earners, coming on our call tonight. I'm so excited to hear from him. Happy New Year to everyone that is saying that. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Jackie. Let me just see if I can add Lucas to the call. Some reason it won't let me tag him. I think because oh gosh, what have I done? Because I've tagged him already. Hi, Mummy. Mum's downstairs, so I'm upstairs in her bedroom. Seen it, so hopefully he can request to join the call. I can't believe we've nearly got 200 people on already. I'm so excited. Right, just gonna drink my cup of tea while we wait for Lucas. Hi, Mr. Henley. Hi, Rach. All these people are coming up saying hi. I don't want to miss anyone out, so I probably should just stop saying hi before I forget someone or miss someone out. Right, let me see. This is really strange. It won't let me invite Lucas to the call. No, we don't want you to do that. Why is it not letting me? However, oh, it's gone really dark. Lucas, it won't let me add you. Oh, you've gone. Allow your viewers, but it doesn't let me add Lucas. Why is it doing that? Scott Henley I can add. Sally I can add. Why can't I add Lucas? Lucas, can you request to join? Right. I feel like even though this financial freedom thing is great because everybody can watch it, it's a right pain in the butt trying to add people. Oh, now I can add him. Okay. Let's see. Adding. Dun, 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 dun. Connecting.
Does it work now?
Hello. It works now.
Oh,
Happy New
perfect.
Year.
I've never done this. Hi, Happy New Year. I've never done this to be added into a live. It's the first time, so I didn't know how it works.
We decided to do it just because it means that everyone's team can get on the call in this group, and there's like 10,000 people in the group, so everybody can get involved if they want to. But sometimes it's a bit difficult, but we've done quite well today. Okay, so thank you again. I know I probably said about 200 million times so much for coming on our call today. Really, really appreciate it. And I've had about 1 million messages of people asking different questions. I've tried to get it down to just 4 or 5 questions to ask you. But before we go into questions, would you just share with everyone your incredible story? I know you touched on it in Barcelona, but if you could just share with everyone your story in the business.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much for the invitation. I think we've never done a Zoom call before, so it's quite exciting. Happy New Year, everybody. First of all, I hope you all had a lovely Christmas and you had a great start into 2019. To everybody who don't know me, my name is Lucas. I'm 25 years old from Germany, and I started the business exactly 5 years ago, actually. So on the 7th of December in 2013, I started a business when I was 20. And before the business, I was in quite of a funny situation because I finished my A-levels when I was 18. And I always knew how I wanted my life to be. I always knew how the setting should be. I always knew that I wanted to travel. I always knew that I wanted to do something which I love, to do something with passion. I knew that I also wanted to make some money, but the thing which I never ever had was a vehicle. So I was kind of a dreamer who never had like the vehicle, how to fulfill the dreams. And when I finished my schools, I had a challenge. I don't like the word problem, but back in the days, I would have said problems. When I finished my school, I was in this situation where a lot of people maybe can relate to who are at my age. I didn't know what to do with my life. So I had zero idea what job I want to do in the future. As I said, I knew how I wanted my life to be, but I didn't know how to come there. So in Germany, we have something which is called www.whatdoistudy.de. Okay, so that's basically something, it's a homepage where you go to when you finish your school or when you're about to finish your school, and then you have like questions. Before you answer these questions, they say take time, relax, make a tea, make a coffee, take 60 minutes and answer these questions really honest. And then the purpose of this website is that after you answer all the questions, that they're gonna tell you, you should study something with economy, you should study medicine, you should become a teacher, or blah, 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 blah. Anyway, and I did this test about 10 times, and I'm not kidding. I did this test 10 times, and I had 10 different results. So every time when it was finished, I was so excited. I was like, oh yes, now it's gonna tell me what do I do. And the first thing which came out, I was like, oh, that's cool, but that's not what my heart beats for. And I did it again, different result. I did it again, and I was really, you know, they used to say that you have a midlife crisis. I don't believe that now the midlife crisis is the same thing. I think the real thing is the first life crisis, because there are so many opportunities today what you can study, apprenticeship or jobs, that people get confused. You know, I was always jealous. I actually was jealous of people in school who knew, oh, I want to do something with math. I want to do something with sports. I want to do, you know, these people, right, Emma? There's, you know, you have these people in school who are like, they're 12 and they know one day I want to become a scientist. One day I want to become a teacher. I was so jealous because I was always, I don't know what to become. Then I did this test, then I was disappointed, then I was depressed, like, you know, depressed. And then I said, okay, let's do something else. And then in 2011, I think it was 11, I decided to do a social work, you know, a gap year, because I thought, let's travel, let's do some social work around the world, and then maybe afterwards I know more what I want to do. So I went to South Africa and I worked at a children's home for a year, which was one of the best experiences I've ever did, because I really worked like in not very nice circumstances with people who had like horrible past and stuff, and it really shaped me in my point of view, like towards life, to appreciate things more. So it was a really, really good thing. I loved it. It was very challenging as well, but it was incredible. I lived for 1 year in Cape Town in South Africa, which is the most beautiful city, in my opinion, in the world. And when the time I was there, I knew a little bit more about, okay, what do I want to do? When I came back, my dad told me, so now you chilled enough around, now you have to do something. You know, the part where I come from in Germany, people, they have a saying which is called schaffe, schaffe, Häusle baue. That means work, build your home, and then get your children, and then like live there forever and die in this home. But you have to work before. And then I said, okay, I need to work something. My dad wants me to work something. And then I thought about, what do I like? I like cars, I like economy, and I just like to make experiences. So I thought, okay, I come from Stuttgart, so why not apply at Porsche or Porsche, I don't know what you say in the UK, the car company. I think most of you know the car. And I loved it since I was very young, and then I applied there. And then they took me for an apprenticeship. It was kind of like a business study. And I was really excited. I was like, oh, this is gonna be the thing, this is gonna be the thing. And I'm pretty sure that what I say now fits to a lot of people. You can maybe write it in the chat. Who of you knows this feeling when you are about to start something new? Okay, you're about to start something new. You're about to move into a new flat. You're about to get in another class back in school. You are about to have a new relationship. You're about to move, whatever, change your job, and you're really excited about the new thing. But then when you have the new thing, everything is how it was before. I don't know if you can relate to this, but I had this so many times in my life. When I didn't like a situation, I was really excited about the new thing. I was like, oh, now everything is going to change. But I just fell back in the old routine. Everything was the same. And then I started at Porsche, was so excited. I thought, this is it. And after 3 months, I was like, to be honest, I don't think that this work is gonna fulfill my dreams, because at the end of the day, I was in a company. It was not 100% my responsibility, or I was not 100% capable of deciding what I will achieve there. Because if I ran around before I came there and I said, one day I will be the CEO of Porsche. I told everybody, my family, my friends, everybody. But when I started to work there after 3 or 4 months, I understood it's just not in my hands to become CEO or not, because this old CEO has to go away. And it's not about my passion, my commitment, or the work I put in. It's just the system that doesn't allow me to become in this company what I want to become. And this was one of the click moments, as some people say, one of the moments where I was like, okay, I don't think that I will be happy in this system. And sometimes, my mother taught me this, sometimes you don't always have to know exactly where you want to go. Sometimes it's enough if you know what you don't want. Because I always was like, I want to know what I want to do. I want to know what I want to do. And my mother said, be patient, try things. And sometimes you get motivation out of the things you don't like. You know, people say that motivation comes from 2 things, joy and, or what's it called in English? Joy and hurt. Like if you're hurt, you change something. And if you enjoy something, you change something. So it has to be either one of those things, you know, enjoying something or having fear or being hurt of something else. Anyway, and then I don't think there's any coincidences. After I felt the first time, that's not my thing, a friend of mine came to me. And you're gonna laugh about this now, because he came to me and he was an introvert. It's an important part of the story. He was an introvert. He was not one of those blah, 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 blah persons. He was very shy and an introvert. And he came to me and he said, Lucas, I have a really interesting project. A group of young people in England, they started an own business and they sell some shakes, and they're no protein shakes. They're different, but I can't explain to you because I don't understand, but they're making a lot of money and they're having a lot of fun. I have to show you what it is. So he did everything wrong, which probably all the books and coaches teach you how to approach somebody, but he did one thing right. He was excited. And I think down the line, excitement is everything. If he came the way how he usually is, like, oh, you know, I have this thing, I wouldn't even listen to him. But I was really impressed that he was excited about something. And you know what? Excitement and passion is what attracts people. You can be the smartest person. If you're not excited, you don't have the passion, you won't attract anybody. You can read as many books as possible, go to seminars or whatever. If you're not excited, people won't follow you. People like people who know where they want to go. And I was like, I really thought like, oh, I'm smart and everything. And he was one of the persons who didn't think that he was smart, but I was ready to follow him because he was excited. Long story short, he invited me, and then I said, tell me what it is. And then he said something smart. He said, you know what? I can't explain you how it works. I can't explain you how it works. I bring you to somebody who will explain you how it works. So to all the people in this call who think that they have to tell always everything, sometimes it's better to show your weakness, to show that you don't know, to be vulnerable, because that's authentic. If he started to be like, this works like this and this and this and this, I would be like, oh, come on, I'm smarter, I know everything better, blah, 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 blah. But he said, I don't know how it works, I can't explain you, but there's somebody else. And I was like, okay, why not? And then he brought me to my first business presentation. And my first business presentation was not a Zoom call, was not an event, was nothing special. He invited me into McDonald's in a Mac cafe to explain me a business about health and nutrition, fitness, and whatever. So I was so skeptical, and I walked in there. You know, back in the days, I was doing a lot of gym and ate a lot. So I thought, whoever the person is who's gonna sit there, I'm gonna teach him that he is wrong, because how can he invite me to McDonald's? And then I sat there, and then something really magical happens, because a person was sitting opposite of me who was 1 year older than me, only 1 year older. And he gave me a feeling which changed everything. He told me, hey, my name is XY. I'm 21 years old. I have 3 part-time jobs. I studied, but how do you say it? I quit my studies for a startup, which also failed. And now I'm 30,000 euros in debt. I have 3 part-time jobs, but what I'm gonna show you now is gonna change my life, my family's life, and I will be free. And I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. I was like, this is crazy. He's 1 year older than me, but he knows where he wants to go. Then he showed me the business, and I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand duplication. I didn't understand it. But I understand the products. It's not hard to understand the product. It's fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. Even when we live one day on a Mars, I am convinced that we still eat Juice Plus. But what I understood was that he had this vehicle, which I was always looking for in my life. And if you really go deep, 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 deep down, I bet that all the people who are watching this had also these moments of looking for a vehicle. We all watched movies. We all watched TV shows where people had an incredible life. And I'm 100% convinced that everybody on this call once had this moment in life where they thought, if there were a vehicle like this, how I could go to have this life, I would take it. And I was like, that's it. So I didn't care how it worked. I just was impressed that somebody sat there with such a confidence, who didn't tell me that he was already a millionaire. He told me he was in debt. He had 3 jobs, but he told me straight in the face, this is going to change my life. And I was like, okay, whatever he's going to do, well, I knew it was not a scheme or something, but his energy was just so pure, and I thought, I'm going to follow this person. And he promised me, by the way, that in 1 year, we are millionaires, and we both drive an AMG, and we live in Switzerland. Nothing of this happened. After 1 year, I earned 1,000 euro a month with this business, but I didn't care, because he gave me this vision. Then I started a business, and I was really not good at the beginning. What does not good mean at the beginning? My expectations were not right at the beginning, because I thought I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna smash it. But after 4 months, I had earned 19 euros and 86 cents. Okay, so after 4 months, I earned 20 bucks in 4 months. So imagine you're 20, you're excited, you go to your friends and say, I have this really cool business. You can earn 20 bucks after 4 months, so you can invite your girlfriend to the cinema, but she has to pay for the popcorn herself. That's not what people want, right? But I didn't care, because I didn't, and that's really important, I didn't start this business to give it a go. I didn't start this business to give it a go. I started this business because it fulfilled with my life expectations, the vision. And then I went to my first event. It was in March 2014, my first convention. You know, maybe some people can relate to this. I had doubts. I thought about quitting. I already wrote sometimes in my notes this big long WhatsApp message about to send it to my upline, to pre-write it about why this business is not going to be my thing, why I'm going to concentrate fully on Porsche, blah, blah, blah. But I never dared to send this message. You know why? Because I read this really stupid motivation quote on Facebook where it says, never give up something you have to think about every day. You know, I'm not a fan of all these quotes, but this quote really hit me hard. So I never sent this message, luckily. And then he said, you know what? Come to the convention. Just come there. He sent me the video from Nice of you guys in England. And then he said, just come. And then I said, okay, I come. And then I came to this event, and I was really embarrassed because I thought everybody knew that I was shit. I was really embarrassed. I sat in the last row, And I thought like, oh, everybody's looking at me. Everybody knows that I'm a dealer. Everybody knows that I didn't have any success. Obviously they didn't, you know, you always think in your head these things. People never care about this. And then I had two moments at this convention which changed everything. The first moment was somebody was on the stage who said, hey, my name is Harald Wissel. I'm in this business since 25 years. I'm financial free. I was an industrial mechanic working at a machine. I have a team of 7,000 people in 14 countries, and I don't speak one word English. And I was like, what? This was like the, you know, sometimes something humbles you down. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can speak English. I always made an effort to have a good English in school because I wanted to make my parents proud, and I earned $20 after 4 months. So it's definitely not the business that doesn't work. It's me who didn't work. And it was really cool because this person inspired me so much. And the long-term vision inspired me, you know, 25 years financial free living from this business. This was what inspired me. And the second moment was that somebody was on stage and he asked, who of you have ever given 100% for your dreams? And then he said, I don't mean 80, I don't mean 90, I don't mean 99, I mean 100%. And then he said, you know what, to the audience, I was really good in a lot of things in life, in tennis, in this and this and this, but I never gave it 100%. And then I sat in the last row and I honestly got wet eyes because I thought like, who are you thinking that you're the man, but you've never given 100%? I was good at school and people told me, you're good in school, but I never gave it everything. I was quite good in sport, but I never was the best because I thought my talent is enough, but the cheapest thing in the world is talent. Talent is nothing. Talent is the worst thing ever. Don't fall in love with the potential. Don't think that potential is anything. Potential is nothing. I thought you started to play the piano. You were good, but you were not the best because you thought potential is enough, talent is enough. And then I promised myself one thing, and maybe you can write this down for you. I promised myself one thing. I hated, and I don't really like the word hate, but I hated a special moment, which I had a lot of times in my life, the moment of regret. I think we all know regrets, right? Sometimes we say, oh, I should have given it more in school. I think basically everybody said this once in life on this call. I should have paid more attention. I should have not fooled around. I should have treated my parents in a different way. I should have given it in this or this situation more. And I promised myself, Lucas, in 5 years, you are not the person who will say, I should have given this more. I promised myself that I won't regret it. And that was enough for me. And then I just went to work. And I think the last 5 years, they were such an incredible journey, like with so many ups, but even more downs. And that's the most important thing, with more downs than ups in the last 5 years. And yeah, that was my story.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I feel really emotional what you said at the end. Like, you know, what have you given 100% to? And I remember there's a quote or a question that someone asked me once, and it said, if you can do something, anything you want and never fail, what would you do? And it's the same thing, because you can do anything you want if you give 100% to it. And I know in this business, I know how hard you work, Lucas. You know, you can see that you have incredible success, and that's because of how hard you've worked, and you have given your 100%. And I mean, your story's unreal, and you're so honest with it. And I'm, you know, in my first 3 years of this business, it came before everything else I did. Everything. This was my first, my one, my only. I remember sitting at the dinner table, my dad saying to me, can you put the phone down? And I was like, Dad, this is my life. And he was like, no, it's not. I was like, it is, it's everything. And that's how we built such massive business, and putting it before everything and focusing it and making it so important. But your story's just insane. It's absolutely amazing. I keep moving because I'm writing stuff down and listening to you, so I apologize if the camera keeps flicking. So obviously you built up your massive team, W Club. W Club, I've said that right, haven't I? It's W Club. Yeah.
Yes.
So lots of people have asked what you do, how you've created such a massive movement. Do you have like a specific way of building a team? Do you have a specific way for each distributor that joins? And would you share that with us?
Yeah. So it's not only my thing, the Club W. We are like a couple of people who created this actually. So it's not my thing. One person can't do anything. You always need good people around you. That's very, very important. That you need like-minded people around you. And you know, we didn't do this by accident. What we did is somebody once told me something really exciting. It's a little bit technical, but maybe some of you can use this. He said that we need a culture, that we need a movement, we need a spirit, we need like a team. It's actually really funny. The moment where it happened was also you guys in England. So in 2015, I went NMD, and after I went NMD, my business was completely flat. You know, the moment where all people think it will never happen when they have momentum, but it will happen to everybody, because momentum usually never stays longer than 18 months. And my business was flat, my upline's business was flat, my friend's business were flat, and then we looked for some inspiration. And then we came to England, to Marbella, because John Hollevati, we were in contact with him, and then he said, oh, why don't you come over to Marbella? It was in 2015. And then we were in Marbella. It was four of us were in Marbella. And we were really like at this moment where business didn't roll, you know, we didn't have momentum, any growth, and we were like, oh, what can we change? And then there was a moment which changed again everything for us. So we were in this bar in Marbella. I think you can remember. We don't know what the bar, I don't remember what the bar was called. And then we felt like really uncomfortable because we didn't know anybody and nobody paid attention to us. And we were like a little bit like, you know, like when you feel creepy when nobody knows you and you don't know anybody. And then there was like a come together in this bar at the rooftop, kind of rooftop. And then there were a lot of people inside. And Simon Bowler said, hey, we have a very special moment, a very special moment. John Hollevati hit Millionaires Club. And then there was a TV, and then the TV went on. And then there was a video of you and Emma Snedden and some other people who said like, hey, thanks, John, for you and for Team Rhino, you changed my life, etc., etc. And this was like the moment where me and my friends, we looked at each other and we were like, okay, we need this feeling, we need this proximity, we need this emotions. It's not only a business, we need this kind of family who lifts you up. We need this in Germany. And then we had a chat at the evening at the beach with somebody who was really successful in the business, and he told us, hey, there are three really important things when you want to build a movement, when you want to build a spirit, three really important things. The first pillar is you need a system of acquisition. Okay, you need a system of acquisition. The system of acquisition, how to get team members, how to get partners, etc., etc. Then you need a system of socializing. A system of socializing, a fixed event structure every day, where people can connect every day with the team. Then an event structure of a kind of a meeting where you meet people in real life, you know, like in a coffee, in a restaurant or whatever, where you can have meet and greets or you do a team activity. Then you need an event structure for big events, you know, for like regional events, which you also have in England, like North, South, right? I think you have one in January, a big one. I saw somewhere. And then you need an event structure for the really big events. And then the third thing you need is like the teaching pillar, like a kind of a pillar where you can duplicate everything. And then he asked us, what do you think, what is the most important pillar? The pillar of the acquisition, how to get team members and partners, the pillar of socializing, or the pillar of teaching and duplicating leadership and the system? And then we said, we think the acquisition, we think the coaching, blah, blah. And then he said, and that's why most people fail. It's a socializing system. It's the socializing system, because you can have the best system, you can have the best acquisition system, you can have the best teaching system, but if you don't have what people need, and that's good people around you, that's relationships, that's a surrounding where they feel appreciated, where they feel with positive energy. You can have the best systems. If you don't have the socializing structure, it won't work. And this made so much sense for me, because, you know, our business is at the end of the day only about relationships. You can be the smartest, you can be the best looking, you can have the best tools, you can have the best videos, the best social media. It won't help you if you're not building relationships, if you're not starting to build your own little tribe around you, if you're not putting yourself into an existing tribe and try to look what value you can add there. And that's how we started to build it. We build it everything over proximity, because if there are 5 people sit together, all the other 2 pillars come anyway. If 5 people sit here and speak about their dreams and their visions, they start to become creative. They start to write down, what can we do? How can we build an SDD? How can we do this? How can we use it? It will come automatically if you have the socializing structure, if the people feel welcomed, if they feel part of something big, because, you know, they say it, you have job, you have the family, and then you have the third place. And the third place is for some people the football club, it's for some people the bar, it's for some people playing video games with other people, and we are the third place. Because in our business, people, you know, when you come to a convention, when you come to an event, not one single person walks out there and thought, oh, that was a waste of time. Everybody feels energized. If you meet with somebody in a coffee, if you go paintball or whatever, and one person is maybe sad and 5 people are positive, this one person is positive afterwards as well. So it's all about socializing, to having some kind of a socializing structure where you connect with your people in real life. Of course, Zoom is great and everything. Don't get me wrong, but you need to see the person in the people in person. You need to give the energy. They need to feel you. They need to feel that you care. And I think that's the most important thing. And then we started it. We started very small. We started with 3 people sitting together in a Starbucks, and then a 4th person came, a 5th people came. Then all of a sudden somebody said in another city over social media, hey, what you doing? And then we went in a car and we drove there. And as you said, the first 3 or 4 years, that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. You know, as you said, I gave everything. And when I mean everything, everything. I had my full-time job until I went NMD, which is very important, because sometimes people think that a full-time job or their life is a distraction. That's not true. Your full-time job and your life, and I don't have, like, you have the most amazing story being a mom, but what you think, which is your obstacle, this basically becomes your way. Because when I had to work until 6 or 7 in the evening at Porsche, so I didn't have a lot of time, but I was really carefully with this time. I treated this time very special. You know, I didn't wasted my time. And sometimes when you're full time, you waste your time. You know what? A networker, and that's really true, and maybe it hurts, but a networker usually doesn't have anything to do in the morning. Zero, nothing. To be honest, until 1 or 2 o'clock, who are the people you met who are messaging you? The people who stay at home, but most people work. They have a normal life. So in the morning until 1 or 2, nobody can tell me that they are like really, really busy. That's just, you're not true to yourself. Some people are, but most of them are not. So that's why it's good to have a job and do this business at the beginning part-time. And there's another really important thing, because sometimes people struggle with money. I heard this at the beginning when I started, really luckily. Somebody told me, Lucas, don't spend your network marketing money. Let your full-time job take care of your lifestyle and invest all your network marketing money in your business. You know, I was so broke building the business. You don't understand how broke I was. Sometimes I was so broke that I had to drive to an event, that I went to the gas station because I didn't have gas. I put the gas in my car, and then I went inside the gas station. And I said, oh, I forgot my wallet. Can I come in the next 2 days and pay it? So I had to give them a deposit, something, you know, my passport or something, or a copy, because I was so broke, and I knew in 2 or 3 days, money's coming, because I was just ready to invest everything. And you know what? I drove from this gas station away, and it was so many times that I did this. I drove away with the best feeling in my life, because I said, oh my gosh, I just invested in my business. I invested in my business. There are a lot of hilarious stories where he gave away like empty, you know, in Germany, when you give cans away, like Coke cans or Red Bull cans, you get money back because of, I don't know how you say it in English, but we gave this back to even buy food at the end of the month, because we invested everything in travels and like not travels, like I mean lifestyle travels, but events and everything. Anyway, so if you have a main job, don't think about quitting or something. Just be more special with your time, you know, just prioritize it a little bit more. And then everything went bigger. And the thing is, you know, all these quotes, they're so true. People overestimate what they can do in a year and they underestimate what they can do in 3 years. After 1 year, you know, my up line, they are doctors and they're like since 25 or 30 years in the business. And you know what? They told me when I signed up, they said, Lucas, you know what? Really, really nice people. You know, like a doctor, an old doctor, wise person who really gives you an advice. He said, you know, Lucas, when you're 30, then you're an NMD. When you're 30, I think then you're an NMD. And you know what? I was like, that's fine for me. That's fine for me. So my expectation was very, very low. So I couldn't get disappointed. I heard stories where people in UK, they went PMD in 7 months. And sometimes you hear this story and you compare yourself to these stories. But sometimes it's really good to see this business as something it is. It's a business. It's a business as everything else. It takes time. Apple didn't grow in 1 year. Tesla didn't grow in a year. Microsoft didn't go. It all took time. Philip Plein, who really inspires me, I don't like his clothes, but he inspires me. He didn't grow in a year. He grew in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And I was 20 and it was okay for me, the imagination, to be NMD with 30. And that's why I never got disappointed. I never got disappointed. And expectations means waiting, because you wait for something. Waiting means you're not moving. If you're not moving, you're going a step backwards. So be careful with your expectations. Get inspired by people who are boom, but don't compare yourself to them. Because at the beginning, nothing really worked for me. Half a year, it didn't really, and then all of a sudden, it went boom. And if you speak with every person, they sell you this exactly the same. At the beginning, nothing, and then there's coming a momentum. And then guess what? Every momentum has a moment where it calms down a little bit. And then something happens. People get addicted to momentum. They think that's what always happens. But it's in our responsibility to tell the people that this is a business. Business is like life, right? You have different cycles. Is it cycle? Yeah, you have different cycles. You know, you have different cycles. You know how it is, right? You're excited about a new job, about a new relationship, and you're like, ooh, that's it, that's the best thing. And then everything settles. Everything settles. You start in the business, it starts to grow, you're excited, you get addicted, you think it always, you know, you get all these endorphins and hormones, and then you think it's always like this, but it's not, because it's a business. So every business has 3 periods. A boom, a period where it's like a regression a little bit, you know, it flats down a little bit, it goes down, and then it's in development period. And after every development period, guess what? There's another boom, always. But we're not doing this business for doing it for a year, 2 or 3 years. We're doing the business for keeping consistent. And everybody will have their own personal momentum when they know that they just have to be, for a specific period of time, very consistent, and then a momentum comes. And then sometimes when momentum comes, it brings a very bad habit with it. And you know what? I can only tell you all these things because I went through it. You know what happens when people have a really big momentum? They think they reinvented network marketing. They think they're genius. They think that they found the holy grail, that soon everybody will knock on their doors and will say, can you tell me how you do it? They just think that they reinvented the business. They think that they're genius, the smartest person in the world, but they're not, because our business is always the same, right? And then when the business is on a period where it needs new development, they think, oh, it doesn't work anymore. But the best thing which can happen is if your business is in the development period, because then you know who are the real leaders are. You know who are the people. And for yourself as well. So if you want to be like a real leader or influencer person or whatever, the challenging times are the times which are the best times. The time where everything is flying. These times, these are not real. They're coming, enjoy them, take the wave, ride it. But our personality growth grow in the challenging times. Not when everything is pink and you think that's it. They grow when it's tough. And then you start to make new solutions. Then you get innovative. Then you start to, do other things and think about it again. And that's basically why we're doing the business. We're doing the business for the challenging times, because that's what we speak later. We're not speaking later on the stage about that everything went so great. We speak about we really had to get together and work on this, stick together, be innovative, be creative. This is what it's exciting. Because if you tell other people that always everything is fine, it's just not real, because that's not how it is.
Yeah, it's so true. So true what you said. And one of the biggest things I picked up from what you just said is that expectation. So when I joined the business, I went to my first person-to-person event in Windsor. It was like a UK convention, but it was really small. And I had a lady called Carol speak, and she went NMD in 5 years. And so my expectation was NMD is going to take me 5 years or so. And then and I wanted to earn £30,000 a year in 5 years' time. I had no idea that there was any opportunity to earn any big money. And only when I went to Rome, which was maybe 5 months into the business, did I hear about Alex, and someone told me he earned 10 grand a month. He was 100 Club. And I was like, he's been in the business 20 odd years. So that was my expectation. Maybe in 20 years, I could earn £10,000 a month, but I never had an expectation of, PMD in 7 months. PMD didn't even exist. I never had that. So my journey was my journey. And I think so many people get disheartened from this huge expectation of, I'm going to be the next person like John Holowati. But actually, they don't remember that John Holowati was a sales coordinator for 2 years. His first convention he went to, thought he was a club one, and he got turned away. People don't see that. They just see John Holowati Millionaires Club, and they don't see the journey before. And it's so important to share it with people. And the same thing with momentum. I remember 2015, I think it was June, we had the biggest month I've ever had in my whole business. I earned a crazy amount of money, and by the December, Lucas, it had halved. We'd lost 50% of business. And I remember ringing John like, oh my God, what's happening? And he went, do you know what? Get back to work. Don't think about it. Stop putting it out there and just get back to work. Everybody stopped working because we thought we made it. We haven't made it. Get back to work. And it's true. We all got these massive egos. We thought, we thought we'd recreated network marketing. We thought we were the big I am. And we did amazing things. The team's incredible, but we thought we didn't have to do anything ever again. And it doesn't work like that, right? And that was the biggest lesson we all ever had when we had that month in December where it was like, oh my God. And I don't think I've ever talked about it before on a Zoom call or on a call, because I never discussed it with my team. I just got back to work. But we do have those highs and lows, and it's so important that everybody understands that it isn't plain sailing all the time, and sometimes you just have to put your face on and get on with it.
It's like, isn't it like, it's funny, it's like everything in life is like a wave. That's just it. Everything, how it goes like this. I don't have children, but I guess it's like this with children, because when I think back that I was like one of those children who was sometimes, I said, my mom you're the worst mom in the world. And then 2 years later, I said, you're the best mom in the world. I love you so much. So it's in our relationships with our partners, it's in business, it's the weather, everything is a cycle. Everything is a cycle. So you just have to, I never understood this when people said, enjoy the ride and, blah, blah, blah. I never understood this until it happened to me, and it will happen again. And I'm sure that I think the biggest challenges are still ahead of us. But without this, is so boring. I don't know about you, but I'm the happiest when I have the feeling that I am creating something. That's when I'm the happiest. I'm the happiest when I'm creating new ways in relationships with other people, when I have the feeling, okay, I step up now, then I'm like happiest having new steps in relationship, being happy, having new steps in the business. That's when people are the happiest, right? When you're not going into new stages in life, I don't feel happy. I don't know how it is about you. And it's different. Sometimes it's private life, it's relationships with kids, with partner, with friends. Sometimes it's business. But if you just keep on these things, one day you will look back and say, oh my gosh, I thought this is against me. You always think that this happens against you, but at the end of the day, you say that was the best thing that ever happened. So I'm sure it will happen again and again. It's just important to not turn the back on these things and run away, and think that this is evil, this is bad, this is against me. Because when it hurts the most, you just have to challenge it to go into a new chapter. Because otherwise you going away, or you know what I mean, like you're stopping, and then you have to start again and again, and that's the hardest thing, you know. So better face it, do it with people together, you know, having the proximity, and that's the most important thing.
I think if it's easy, everyone would do it, right? And it's not, and that's the whole reason. That's how leaders are made. Leaders are made when people step up, and if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I think one of the biggest lessons I have. Oh, what happened? Have you got an echo now? I've got an echo now.
Oh, I just put my AirPods out because they're empty. Wait, I try to do it again because...
Guys, can you hear an echo? It's just me.
Wait, I try... Huh? Stop. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
With an echo or not?
Unfortunately.
Wait, I have... My AirPods are empty. Sorry.
I think because I'm on a phone.
Hast du die neuen? Danke. Ja, ich hab. Sorry, 1 second. Is it better now? Okay. And what you just said is so true. It's simple, but it's not easy. And I read something really interesting yesterday. I read that Bruce Lee said once, "I don't fear the man who trained 1,000 kicks one time. I fear the man who trained one kick 1,000 times." It's really cool, isn't it? I was like, you know, I love when I read stuff. I'm always like so excited. I always thought, oh, that's the holy grail. And it's not easy, but it's very simple what we do. And sometimes you overthink it, you know. You, as we said, like when the hard times or challenging times are there, you think, oh, now you have to do everything different, or you know. But at the end of the day, it stays the same what we do. It just stays the same. The tools are different, but the strategy, like what we do is, the business stays the same, but the tools, they change. So we show people the business, we show people the product, and the most important thing is we take all these we take the new people and we show them the way how to do it. We show them the way how to do it. We're not signing up people to just sign them up to have 1 million front lines. It's our responsibility, I think it's our responsibility to give every new person, to give them everything you have, and then they can decide on their own if they take it or not. But it's work. I don't know how about you, but the most of my NMDs, they're not frontline, they're down the line. The most successful people in my business, they're like usually in network marketing, the most successful people, they're not the front lines. They're the people who are tap rooting down there. So I always say to people, to people who are like SSC or QNMD, who sometimes think, oh, my business is not growing, I always say, you know what? Treat every person in your business as your front line. Treat every person in your business as your front line until, of course, there's a leader in between who steps out and says, hey, I do it on my own. Because that's our job, right? Our job is to build the legs, one leg after the other leg, and to really work with the people. The best thing you can do is this. Today is the 1st of January, right? The best thing is after this call to get your phone and call somebody from your team and say, hey, you know what? I'm wondering, what are your goals for this year? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? What are your dreams? I don't know if you've ever done this, but this is building relationships, to actually ask the people. I have almost nobody I personally sponsored in this team who took off like a rocket. Nobody, not one person in this team I sponsored personally took off like a rocket. Some of them are really successful, but they took time. And remember, if my upline didn't stick with me, I wouldn't be here today, because I earned $20 after 4 months, so he didn't get any volume from me. So it takes time to develop people, right? People don't come in this business and get NMD or PMD or whatever. They need you as a person they can look up to and they can say, hey, I want to be like this person. And this takes courage, right?
Yeah.
You say courage? It takes courage to stand there and be somebody, you know, a lighthouse for somebody else. You need to be a lighthouse for somebody else. You need to be a person who sometimes is learning and sometimes is teaching. Sometimes, yesterday, we had 2 days ago, we had a goal planning Zoom call for my team for the year. And I saw people writing. I saw some people writing down things and I see these people since 3 years writing down. But they never taught what they learned. Because everything I told you today is nothing I invented. It's something I learned. So everything you learn is something you have to give to your team, right? Call somebody and say, I'm so excited. I was just at this Zoom call. I learned this and this and this and this and this and this and this. That's it. But it takes courage to step up and say, hey, I'm going to do this. Believe in yourself, because what we do is not math. It's simple what we do, but you have to do it.
No, I completely agree. Honestly, completely agree. And the thing as well is that, Lucas, when you joined this business 5 years ago, you weren't the Lucas that you are now. You know, you weren't so educated on network marketing. You weren't so knowledgeable about information. Maybe, you know, I was definitely more negative than I am now. I looked at the world in a different way. It's a journey in everything. It's not just a journey about when I first joined, I got no customers and now I get 10 every month. It's when I first joined, I hated the world. I hated men. I wanted, you know, I felt like everything was negative, you know, and now I'm in a different, I used to go on stage like 2 years in the business and say, if you want to leave your husband, I'll help you. I hate men. That was who I was. I carried anger for so long, but you develop as a person in this business, you know, so who you are now, you know, are successful, you're positive, you're very confident, you're super inspiring. When you first joined, you said you went into that convention and you thought everybody knew that you weren't good at this. And there's so many people that are on this call that maybe they think, oh, you know, I haven't done this. I didn't get to PMD in 7 months. I didn't get to NMD in 2 years. I've been in the business. I've been in the same position. I haven't got to IMD or whatever it is where they are. And they think that means they're not successful, but it's just not their journey, you know, and it's not their time and it's coming. You just have to keep pushing for it. And once you put in the extra effort, and once you do all the things that you need to do, and when it's your time and when it's right, those things will happen.
100%. I think what is really important is that you don't ever think that you are alone with your challenges. If you follow people on social media who inspire you, they are not always motivated. The worst thing you can think is that somebody is always motivated and that you ask yourself, how can I be always motivated? Because who's telling you that he's always motivated or she is lying to your face, because that's not true. We all have this. Everybody of us has the same challenges, private life and business life, everybody of us. The difference is that some people say, I make the best out of this situation. I make the best out of this situation. You can either cry for yourself and over yourself and be sad with yourself, or you can say, I make the best out of this situation. But everybody in this Zoom call is different. Doubts about the same things. Everybody doubts about the same things. You know, when somebody tells you he's always positive or she, that's not. We all have these moments. But the difference is that you have to be aware of it. You know, when I'm also sometimes negative and I'm also doubting and I'm also frustrated. That's normal. But when I feel this feeling, I say, okay, I'm now aware of this, so I can let it go again. I can change something and then I have a different result. That's the most important thing, that you are aware of what you're doing and what you're feeling, and don't think that these feelings, they control you, because they don't. You control them. You just have to be aware of this. But don't think that you're the only one who have these troubles, these struggles, these thoughts, because everybody has it. It's just the way how you deal with it. And it doesn't come from today to tomorrow. This is a process. This is the process. And one day you will look back and say, hey, the best thing in this whole journey was the development of myself. It's like a finger flipping and you're a different person. It doesn't matter how much money you earned, what position you achieved, you are a different person. And now be strong and be this person, okay? Show the people that you're different. Step up and be the person who's walking in the room, and then people say, oh, the temperature is changing. You know these people? But even when I started, even when we were in Marbella, even when we all had all this experience I just told you, I always pictured myself to be one of these people. One funny thing, Jeff Roberti, okay, our upline, he's the #1 earner in the whole industry. I asked him for a Zoom call since 1.5 years, and I never got an answer. I never got an answer if he did want something. And then at the beginning, I was like, I don't like him, he's not going to my Zoom call, he's not answering me. And then I thought, why would he care about me? Why would he care about me? I always wanted to surround me with the big people, but I thought before surrounding with the big people, I first have to be big first on my own, for myself. I first have to deliver something until these people know who I am. You know what I mean? It's like this. There are 3 different people or 2 different people. This is you. Here are the people who want to put you down. The people who say, work less, relax. Does this even work in 5 years? Isn't this blah, blah. These people are here. Here are the really big people. You don't want to spend time with those people. You don't want to because they're negative. The big people, they don't want to spend time with you. Why should they? Why should they? So here's the secret. You need to create your own environment of people. Everything you have in life is determined by the people you surround yourself with. Everything you have in life comes from the people you surround yourself with. If the 5 people you spend the most time with are negative and watching Netflix, then you are the 6th person. You have no chance. You can't, because you are 100% product of your environment. You can do whatever you want. If the 5 people you spend your time with are crazy, have big dreams, are excited, you are the 5th one. So it all comes down to the people you surround yourself with. That's it. That's the first basic thing. Sometimes you have to let go of people. Sometimes you have to go out and meet people. Sometimes people say, nobody is positive or whatever where I live. That's not true. You're just in the wrong places. So you have to, it's actually a responsibility we have to surround ourselves with these people. That's very important because, as I said, the people you surround yourself with, this is key. That's the most important thing.
I 100,000,000% agree. I honestly do believe that. And I know from being the beginning of this business who I spent time with, I was 100% that 6th person, but we weren't watching Netflix, we're watching Jeremy Kyle, and you probably don't know what Jeremy Kyle is, but it's a horrendous TV program. No. And we lived like Jeremy Kyle, and I had to change that. So I totally believe it. And once you start sharing your time with different people, you literally live a different life. I know we've taken so much of your time. It's like 9:30, I think. 20 to 10. So we're gonna wrap up the call. Would you just finish the call with your 3? It's been an amazing call. Literally, the phone is going crazy of people being inspired, and appreciate your honesty. Would you just end the call with your 3 top tips that you would give people for 2019? Everybody wants to get to Dubai. So 3 top tips of building to Dubai.
We have a running gag in Germany. When somebody asks you for the top 3 tips, we always say, shut the F up, make results, show up. So we always say this, but it's just a joke. I think everybody have 3 different top tips. I think one of the most important thing is action before perfection. Okay? People always try to do everything perfect, but perfection is aggression. What you need is to do action, start before you're ready. That's very important. Start today. When you got anything from this Zoom call or everything else you watch, you listen to, you read, don't think you have to prepare. Start before you're ready. This business is a learning by doing business. Okay? It's a learning by doing business. It's not I learn everything and then go out, I study medicine for 8 years and then I gonna, do a surgery. That's not our business. Start before you're ready, and action always before perfection. That's the most important thing, because you learn while you do this stuff. The second thing is, people always say, your why and, make your vision board and etc., etc. I think put once your big goals, your visions, really sit down and create your vision, but then don't get too confused with these big visions and they're so far away.
break those goals and visions down into small visions which you can see. That's very important. The person who showed me the business said, you can earn this and this and this, 5-figure a month with this business. And this was cool, and I wanted this. But my first goal with this business was very simple. I wanted to earn $500 a month. Why? Because I wanted to put 250 euro from this money to get a car, because I didn't have a car. I had to drive the train. And the other 250 euro I wanted to give to my parents, because my parents gave me money at that time, and I hated the feeling to be dependent from my parents. So I had the big goal, the big vision, but I broke it down into a goal 500 euro, because I could see this. I could see making 500 euro with this business. And then it changed. Then I said I wanted 2,000 euro. Then I said I want to move to a different flat. Then, you know what I mean? Make your big goals, but make a goal, then a smaller goal you can actually see. And you know what the funniest thing is? You think now it's difficult to be motivated or to have the goals. The more successful you be, the more you have to find new goals. Because if you make crazy money, complacency comes in, and complacency is death, okay? So you always need different goals. It does not always have to be the money-driven goal. Maybe it changes into a purpose goal or whatever, but the more successful to get, the harder it gets to make the new goals, because you never thought that you will have what you now have. So make goals you can see. I said this in Barcelona. This business is like driving a car on a foggy road. When you're driving on a foggy road and you care about what happens in 2 kilometers, you're too scared to move. But if you concentrate on the next 100 meters, the next 5 customers, the next 1 customer, the next 1 distributor, the next SDD, if you concentrate on this, you create motivation, because nothing gives you more motivation than results. That's very important. Your vision goal, you can have your whole flat and house with vision goals, but they won't motivate you as the result. Okay? Result is motivation. And then you get to the next result, and then to the next result. And the third thing is, what I think is also a very important thing, is to always find somebody you can get a feedback. I know you probably not what what usually people say with 3 tops is believe in yourself and stuff. Woo! I mean, find somebody you can get a feedback. Find a mentor, your upline, or somebody else, and say, hey, can you give me a feedback to myself? Can you give me a feedback how you like my social media? Can you feedback how I speak on stage? Can you give me a feedback to how you see I am? And then you can say, you know what? Maybe we can work a little bit on your attitude. Maybe we can work a little bit on your social media. Maybe we can work on how you closing people, how you getting a customer after you wrote with him. Maybe we can work on, people, and I don't like to call it ego, because ego is nothing bad. Ego just means I am. And if you don't know who you are, you won't have anything. But the wrong ego is if you don't ask for help. I was this annoying person in class who always had raised their hand, because I asked all the time questions. And I don't thought too much about myself. I didn't take myself too serious to ask questions. You know this annoying person, right? This one annoying person, the bell has already ringed for a break, and he's like saying, oh, I have a question. That was me. But I love to be curious. I love to be curious. And when I am with somebody, I always ask questions. I don't want to be annoying to them. I don't run to the $1 billion earner and say, can you help me with this? I ask to the next person, the person who can show me the next way, and say, hey, just tell me what to do. And then do what they tell you. That's also important, because you can have a Zoom call with somebody with your upline and they tell you, do this and this and this and this. And you say, yes, 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 but you don't do it. So do what they tell you, and don't be too ashamed or too shy for ask questions, because everybody in this business had to learn. And I'm still learning and asking. We came back from Las Vegas at the GoPro, and I felt like I'm just a dealer, because I felt so small, and I had the chance to talk to some incredible people, and I wrote them down, and I made a team call and told it everybody and tried to put these things into work. So ask questions and then put these questions, the answers into work. And for everybody of you who get asked questions, be honest with the people. Don't put them into sugar and to a pink bubble. Be honest with them, because you only help people if you're honest with them. Okay? Don't fear confrontation. Don't fear critics, because your biggest potential lies always in the feedback from the people around you. Whenever somebody says something and your internal whatever tells you, oh, how can he or she say this? Then you know that's the right thing. Because whenever you felt hurt of this, it's exactly the right thing to do and to put into work what people say. So don't be afraid of asking questions. We're all learning. We're all exactly the same. And yeah, I think that's it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, I can totally relate to that person in class that used to ask the questions after the bell. I don't know if it was me, but I definitely remember it well thinking, shut up. But it's so important to ask these questions. And, you know, I'm sure sometimes in the PMD meetings, that's me that won't shut up talking. And it's great to be excited about something and want to know more and be curious. It's a great thing to have. So honestly, cannot explain how inspiring you've been tonight. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. So many messages of people saying thank you so much and how inspired they feel, and what a great way to start 2019. So massive thank you to us.
Thank you very much.
Have a great evening, and I'm sure we'll speak soon.
See you soon. Bye bye. Thank you so much.